Ladies and gentlemen, this evening I'm sitting down with yet another talented individual involved in Hidden Histories, the new C3 anthology. Of course, I'm talking about Makayla Davis. Makayla, how are you this evening?
I'm doing all right. How are you, John?
I'm doing well, doing very well. I'm, of course, sitting here with you talking about the C3 anthology, which I'm a big fan of. I assume that you're a big fan of as well, since your
Mhm.
entry is is right in there in the early pages, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so. And it's about 8 pages long, talking about you know, small places to come visit in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, in fact, it was just simply called Columbus Destination. So, can you tell us a little bit about that project without giving away too much?
Yeah. So I chose a total of four small businesses to come visit in Columbus. I bring people into a 14-seater van, and a lot of them are actually some of my, comics friends that I have that I decided to draw into it, and so it was a lot of fun there. And we visit like four places, and I'm the tour guide and bring them around. Um, I first stop is so I chose. Um, German Village as a book loft. Like most of the things that are situated around small businesses and self-publishing and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So the book loft, which is if you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this live stream and you don't know what the book loft is, Google it. When you come to town, you love books, that's the place to go.
Mhm. Yeah.
In fact, it's so cool because it's kind of like a maze. Am I right on? Is that a good
hmm
descriptor of it, Michaela?
Yeah. It's a small independent business, and they definitely have little maps that you'll definitely need if it's your first time to go and like find the different rooms. It's actually it started off as like 3 rooms and then branched out to 32 rooms, and it's like all small different corridors and everything. I think it's like 4 different levels. It's like, and you got like small places and larger places, and all the rooms connect in all sort of different ways. It's a lot of fun going around and walking amongst the bookshelves and everything like that.
Now, you said that the places that you visited, these small businesses, they all had something to do with publishing, correct?
Yes.
So, what were the other three, if I may ask?
Yeah, the other three, there was Laughing Ogre, which is a small family-run comic shop um, that has like a wide range of variety, kind of like your normal like comic shop store. That's a small run organized business. And then the other places was a $2 radio that is a coffee shop slash like communal space that um, serves like food and drinks, and then has like is like a bookshop of like small indie books, and they're also like a publisher as well. And so like this location is actually like their brick and mortar place where they can sell some of the books that they've published, and then also just some other indie artists that publish books. And um so then there's that place, and then next to it I chose Community Grounds as well, which is a small local coffee shop that does like sell like independent artists' work on commission, like basically kind of like a small like little vendor place. Like I know one of the last times I went there, they had like zines and they had like fine art prints and stuff that artists may have had and were hanging on display on the wall for like sell. So they would be like kind of like a selling point for artists to like sell their work and get it out. But they did recently change directive, Community Grounds did, and they're no longer there. and they're now going to like on a new endeavor to have like a bus for as like a mobile transportation of their business. So kind of like a food truck, but it's like you actually go onto the bus and enjoy that experience. So
Is it like when you were a kid and the bookmobile came to town?
I guess it definitely it's kind of like that. I think they described it as like because they're not giving too much information yet about that. I even tried to reach out to them, but I didn't hear any communication back from that. But it sounds like what they're trying to do is get more engaged into the community and go out to the community that they best want to serve for that day. So it's like it's a moving kind of restaurant on a way, like a restaurant on
Okay.
wheels.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see where that takes them.
Okay, cool. So, how did you come up with this topic? I mean, because the theme for this anthology of hidden histories is kind of to learn about something. So, how did you come up with this topic?
I think I really just wanted to center around what small things in Columbus that not every tourist or even everyday person of Columbus may already know about. Especially like businesses that center around like the comic scene or small businesses, just to kind of give back to them in a way, especially the Book Loft and Laughing Ogre, along with $2 Radio, and even community grounds as well, because those were places that I would really go to while I was in college. Especially like community grounds, would go there and do my homework and sit around and be in that space. Along with $2 Radio, would host a lot of comic events or anything like that around CXC and everything like that. And CXC is a comic convention here in Columbus. That's a nonprofit that brings in and does tabling events and stuff like that. It's actually next weekend, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it snuck up on me. I kind of forgot about it and then it snuck up on me, but it's a heck of a comic book convention. I wouldn't even say it's really like it's unlike any comic book convention you've ever seen. I think with interviewing some folks in past years about it, it kind of has a little bit of a European flair to it. Would that I think would be the most appropriate definition, I guess you could say. It's a great comic book convention. I guess maybe that's not the right way to describe it either, because it's unlike any comic book convention I've ever been to. It's kind of it's more of like a comic and art event, I think is the better way to say it. Would you agree with me on that, Makayla?
Yeah, they're definitely I believe a lot of the tablers like bring in a bunch of like different art and everything because it not only focuses on comics, but it also brings in the animation aspect of it as well, and manga. So it's not just only focused on American comics, but it also like they even have guest speakers from Canada, France, and everywhere. And it just kind of like it all kinds comes together here in Columbus. They like I think the last year they even brought like a well-known I think maybe Japanese or like some kind of like Asian animator that like came to the States and like showed their work and it was amazing. And so it even goes like around like different it's not only at the public library, but it even centers around the Billy Ireland. Um and then also over there on OSU campus and everything like that. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very unique. Uh, definitely, everybody should go check that out.
All right, let's talk about C3 here for a moment. And how did you get involved with C3?
Um, I was tabling at Space with my Space's small press and comic expo, I believe. I don't know if I'm saying that acronym correctly, but I was tabling there with my capstone for senior year with my comic, and I heard about them and then I was like, well, I'm fixing to graduate and I really want to stay with the community and everything and grow. And so I saw C3 and I saw that they were needing applications for the anthology or like people interested in committing to it. And I was like, this is my chance. I have to do this. This will be amazing. It'll be my first time doing like a real big boy anthology. I'm like, oh, I have to do this. So yeah, that's how I got into C3, and I even go to like their monthly meetups and everything. So it's a really good community to be a part of.
Do you think it's very important for individuals that are looking to get support to go to an organization like C3?
Yes, definitely. It's better to be as a community and create than all by yourself, because as by yourself, you're in your own little bubble. You don't experience like feedback, you don't experience that community and eagerness to grow. Um, and a community is a good way to like connect with fellow artists and receive feedback and like connect not only through your art, but also just through other random things as well.
Well, we're going to take a quick timeout. We've still got plenty of things to talk about, Makayla, but I think it's appropriate time for us to plug that crowdfunder, okay? Because that crowdfunder campaign, it's also a little bit different than maybe some of those other like Kickstarters and Indiegogo. This crowdfunder is set up on tiers, and the amount of money that we can collect will then be given right back to the creators in the anthology. And look, there's many tiers, but I'm being optimistic. I'm looking for the big picture. I'm looking at $2,000, folks. We can raise $2,000 for this project. Not only do you get a sweet anthology to read, but it also helps to kick back some money to the talented creators. $25 a page count. If we get that 2,000 mark, it goes down from there. 1675 gives you $20. 1350 gives you 15. 1050 gives you $10, and that's fine. That's great. We're not trying to be greedy, but I feel it in my bones that we can reach that benchmark of $2,000. I really do, Makayla. I think the people of Columbus, when they hear about it and they know that this is for a good cause, they're going to plunk down some cash.
Yeah.
So if you need some more information, just go over to C3's social media outlets. Of course, C3 stands for the Columbus Cartoon Coalition. Again, all the money stays right here in Central Ohio. It's given back to the talented artists so that they can, pay for subscriptions for, like things that you don't even think about. Like, oh, I got to pay money because I have a gigantic Google Drive that I have to have money for. See, even my cat lady, she's right now just meowing at me right now that you should go out and donate. That's what she said. That's what her meows meant. And so we can do it, folks. We can do it. Definitely, again, if you can, pick up a donation and then pick up one of these books here for the hidden histories of C3. And man, lady certainly messed me all up. I had a much better spiel. But anyways, Makayla, let's talk a little bit about you. All right. So were you kind of always a creative individual growing up?
Yeah, definitely. I think it all actually started in elementary school, and then just kind of followed around. I went into college not knowing what I'd want to do, and then it kind of struck me that I wanted to do art. So then I transferred and I went to CCAD, uh, and I started out as animation actually, and then I kind of halfway through my degree, I was like, oh, actually, maybe comics is where it's at. And so I went and did comic instead, and then just recently graduated and everything like that. Yeah.
Okay. So it seems here that you have a project that we need to talk about called Peace Bringers. Is that the aforementioned capstone project that you mentioned?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
So Peace Bringers is a 24-page anthology, well, not anthology, but 24-page comic. Um, oh, this is perfect. I actually have it right here. Um, So yeah, this one was my capstone, and the 24-page comic. It kind of centers around environmental issues and how the environment can kind of like divide people. But my characters are, in fact, birds. I kind of pinned it as like day versus night. So the day birds are like your birds awake during the day, so like hawks and kestrels and things like that. And then the night is like your owls and screech owls and stuff like that. And so I kind of centered the story around um, environmental, like global warming, for example, like the lack of resources causing conflict between, warring sides. It's like night and day. Um, and in this one, it's a shortened version of kind of how I would have liked to take the story just because of the page limit. Um, but I did center the capstone around uh, an internship that I did with Ohio Nature Education. And Ohio Nature Education is a Ohio native like bird, or kind of like a place that uses and rehomes wildlife that's deemed unreleasable for many reasons, and then integrates them into educational programs. So I did an internship with them, and so a lot of the characters in this book are kind of like embodied in this piece of work here.
What might be some of the challenges of creating your book, Teespringers?
A lot of it was the deadline. It was challenging overall to meet each deadline, but every time I met the deadline of like where I needed to be in order to have it ready for print for space and going through the printer, um, it was like a check mark of like, oh, I'm doing this right. And then also kind of just even the brainstorming of like how the story would be paced along the pages was like fairly difficult, but then with like help from like teachers and then everything like that, I was able to create the story and the correct pacing and where it needed to be.
Okay. I guess it would be a safe bet to say that you like birds.
Yes.
So when did this fandom begin?
um Actually, it was right, like it was during my internship with Ohio Nature Education. That's when I really just kind of started sitting around and watching birds and identifying them and listening to them, um and I don't know, I kind of find them out uplifting in a way, just as like as scientists and everything like that. And of course I've always been a science nerd also, so it's just kind of, it's fun to kind of lean into that nature aspect into my work and like getting some science into my piece of works.
I have to ask because I have it because I enjoy doing it, especially in the spring and the fall when I sit on my back porch a lot. Is do you have the app, the Cornell app that
Hmm.
identifies? Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
that is so cool. My wife and I especially when we travel, we'll be like, "Oh, let's get out the phone and see what we can learn and see
Mhm.
what's out here." So, who I know Cornell University, you are awesome in your technology because that's a pretty
Mhm.
neat thing to have.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have to ask about this, and partly because I have a story to tell real quickly. If I could have just a 30 seconds here, I have a friend that loves falcons, and in fact, toyed with the idea of becoming a falconer. So when I saw that you had an experience with falcons, I immediately was like, I have to ask Makayla about this. So, what was it like to? Because it was kind of like a drawing workshop, wasn't it? Where you had some falcons there, and you were sketching them out. Am I correct on that?
I believe, are you referring to that one Instagram post with like with
Yes.
the Ohio and falconry? Yeah,
Yes.
that was not with the Ohio Nature Education, but that was with another association here in Columbus. And yeah, I went to one of the drawing workshops there at Columbus at CCAD, where they bring in organizations with animals to help, like, for us to like draw from life. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. They had them flying around and perching, and so and it's mainly like this course is called Cafe Sketch. It's held like almost all day Fridays. And I actually was a part of it as well. So that actually also helped me in creating this book, creating more of like the animation like aspects and hyping up their features and everything like that. Uh, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I did not get to hold the bird, but that's
Oh,
okay. I did not get to hold it, but I did. Um, I did get to hold one with Ohio Nature Education before I ended my internship there.
oh,
Um,
okay.
so yeah.
Okay, so you got to hold a falcon. It was not the one that you wanted, but you still got to
Mhm.
hold one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Any favorite birds?
That's like choosing my favorite child, John. It really is. Um, I hmm. Out of the ones at Ohio Nature Education, I think the screech owls were definitely the most intimidating. So I think I like them because they were so cute and small, but also they will gather in hordes and like it's just very creepy being in like a little like enclosure with them and them kind of like all huddled in a corner together. It's like larger in numbers. So that's also what kind of influenced my work there is um being in that enclosure with them. I was like, okay, you guys are small, but also you're very evil in a way. So
They're like, are they like Voltron, where they just join together and make a giant robot that will then destroy you?
I never thought of doing that. Oh my goodness, that's my next little illustration right there, John. I love that. But yeah, no, that damn, that'd be so good. I love that.
All right, just got a few other things, a few final questions here, real quick. What are some future goals do you have for yourself in your career?
Um, I'd like to make maybe a memoir, graphic novel. Um, I actually went to SPX this last weekend. SPX is like this small press expo in Maryland. First time being there, great state, a lot of lanternflies, but um and I'd really like to maybe make like a memoir comic eventually, um, a graphic novel. And then also, I don't know, just getting more into the community as well and creating works, I think is my goal.
Well, let's talk about some projects that maybe you have coming up here real soon. Do you want to talk about any of those or highlight any of those real quick?
I plan to continue with C3 and do more things with them. And hopefully be included in more anthologies for not only C3 but other ones like I'm looking around as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's something I don't think anybody's ever mentioned. Do you feel it's important to branch out, even though C3 is great? Uh, do you feel like I'd like to work with some other folks from other, Michigan, Indiana, West Virginia, like other places as well? Do you feel like that is something in your future?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's best to try to get your craft or like your comics in as many viewpoints as possible, like in as many parts of like the US or like the world in general, just kind of like getting all your um just getting your work into as many readers' hands as possible. And so that's why I would like to continue with C3 and then also branch out to other anthologies as well, to see what's out there, to engage with different communities as well.
Okay. Do you have social media where folks can keep tabs on you, or website or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I have my website for polio. That's at MakaylaDavis.com. And then I'm also on Instagram. Um, on Instagram, I am Makayla Davis _art. That's my art account. And I need to keep more up on my Blue Sky. I think that's, I'm going to try to do more on that. And I'm fixing to open my commissions as well. That'll be on Ko-Fi, or Ko-fi. I don't know how that goes, but yeah, that will be up there soon as well.
I've heard it's pronounced two different ways, so I don't even know. So, all all right, but folks, before I say goodbye to Makayla, we got to remind you one more time that look, Hidden Histories. That's the name of the anthology. It's a great anthology. You heard from Makayla. You've heard from all these wonderful folks about some of the amazing entries that they have put into that anthology. So you need to pick up a copy of it. And again, if you can donate, we would greatly appreciate it. $2,000 is the top tier. That's what we're shooting for, to give everybody a $25 page rate. Again, we also have other tiers too, and we'd be happy to get those. But I just feel like, I feel it. I feel this vibe that we can do it, Columbus. All right. All the money stays right here in Columbus, Ohio. It's not going anywhere else. It's going to be given to the creators who need some help sometimes. Because am I right or am I wrong, Makayla, that sometimes being creative is expensive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Adobe is not cheap.
No, no. And you know what? Probably some people at home are like thinking, oh, it's just pencils and paint. And no, it's not. This is 2025, yo. We got technology that's wicked expensive that you need a helping hand with, and this will go towards it. So again, folks, go over to C3's social media. You'll get all the information that you'll need to make a donation and to pick up an awesome anthology. And I don't got much more to say, other than just do it. Stop with any excuses. Go out and do it. All right. With that, Makayla, thank you very much for sitting down and chatting with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.